This is day one of the Gabb Phone Fast, and my initial reactions is phones have made me weak. Social media, smartphones in particular, have made me weak. So for this challenge, I'm not going to have my smartphone for 7 days, right? I am using it in some capacities, but not as a smartphone. So my usual smartphone is a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. It's a flagship for Samsung. It's their Galaxy. It's awesome. It's a great tool, but it can be a great distraction. And so during this week, I am swapping it out for the Gabb 3 Pro. Now the Gabb 3 Pro is actually a Samsung A13, which is the B list basically for Samsung. But Gabb Wireless has its own guts inside of it to make it safe for kids. And so I'm participating in this challenge this week to basically unplug from my smartphone to see if I can hack it, A, but also B, just seeing how it, impacts my quality of life. Now, first off, it felt really, really awkward in my pocket, just like this. It's got glass on the back, it's glass in front, glass on back. It's not really plastic or metal, and so it's really slippery. It's really easy to fall out of my hands. And I got it on Saturday, and I swapped my SIM card on Sunday, and we went to family dinner at my in-laws' house, and I lost the dang thing. I lost it because I took it out of my pocket because it felt weird and glassy and slippery, and I put it on somewhere, and it fell in a couch. Thankfully, I found it. And so Monday, first thing today, I went out and got myself a cheap case and a pop socket from Walmart, because that's how I usually have my phone anyway. I have it in a case and a pop socket, and I put it in so it could A, have a case, but B, feel a little bit more like a phone. And so now it's mine. I have a case, got a pop socket on it. And then Monday, today, I really learned how much I rely on my phone for instant help and instant gratification, but instant help, especially in a business world. I use my calendar and a lot of Google products on my phone often to look up what appointment I have next on the go if I'm not by my laptop. I look up my Google Docs, my Google Sheets, doing financial records and things like that. Looking at my email constantly, seeing if the next podcast guest has booked yet, or if I'm speaking somewhere, if someone's reached out for speaking inquiries, stuff like that. And so that's the stuff that's really impacted me. I don't really have that much anxiety about being off of Instagram or being off of YouTube or being off of my social media platforms. And I don't know if because I don't feel like my community is that huge. I have a few thousand people, but also I know that they're going to be there when I get back. And a big part of my platform is advocating against the dangers of social media and unplugging and stuff like that. And so I feel like over the last few years, I've finally been setting some good boundaries with myself and social media. And so I don't really feel a whole lot of anxiety about being off of social media itself, but I do have a lot more anxiety than I expected about not having 24/7 access to my email and my calendar and stuff like that. I'm always so petrified that someone sent me a message and I'm not going to see it in time. And the reality is, in the business world especially, guys, not just in the personal world, but in the business world, you have like 24 hours to answer an email and still be considered professional. But I am so amped up on the instant gratification of emails that I feel like, oh, if I don't respond right away, then it's going to be late. I'm not going to get the opportunity, whatever it might be. And it's kind of forcing me to go old school, like going back to working hours, working when I'm working, not working when I'm not working. If I'm at my computer, then I'll be answering emails and messages and things like that. If I'm not at my computer, then I can't do any of that because I'm not at my computer. It is kind of hard not to have some things on hand, though, I will admit. For example, me, I'm a speaker. And so going around to different schools and things like that, it's difficult not to have Google Maps in my pocket at all times. Now, this is where my old smartphone comes in. I'm going on the road here in a couple days. I am definitely bringing my old smartphone with Google Maps to use offline maps that I have saved so that I can safely navigate to some of these rural schools that I'm going to be speaking at. Naturally, Maps is a really good tool to have, and it's weird not having it in my back pocket all the time, but it's also a good reminder that we have become really reliant upon our smartphones for so many different things. And we don't have to be so reliant on them for everything. And we can do some of those things. We can set boundaries. We can work when we're at work, and we don't have to answer our emails all the time and stuff like that. I did notice that my bathroom breaks have become shorter, not having my smartphone with me all the time. And then I've been able to stay focused on my tasks just a little bit more. In the past, I've had my smartphone and my computer and like 15 tabs open, and I'd be doing something on my sheets, and then I'm glancing at my email on my smartphone, and then I realize, oh, I didn't talk to so-and-so, I need to reach out to so-and-so, oh, I need to go make a thumbnail for this, and then all of a sudden I have like 18 working tabs open, and like no work gets done. And so without my smartphone there to distract me, I've been able to focus a lot better on my tasks at hand. Been able to stay focused. I'm still a little squirrely, but I'm learning to wait versus having instant gratification. Thankfully, the Gabb phone that I have, it does have a notes section. So if I think of something on the go, I'm like, oh, I gotta do this, I can put it as a note in my phone, and I don't have to worry about forgetting it. But I am having to wait until it is the appropriate time to work, instead of thinking of something and then going and doing it right there and then. And then in my spare time, like a lot of us, I used to just scroll a lot. Scroll Facebook, scroll YouTube a lot. I would spend a lot of time on YouTube Shorts, lots of different like camping videos and things like that. Love those. But without having that scrolling time, in my free time, I've been doing things like reading and like playing with my kids a little bit more. This year I did set a goal to read more books, and being able to read more, it's only been 2 days, guys, okay? But I feel like I have been able to read more. I was able to go to sleep faster last night because I wasn't looking at my phone right before bed because there was nothing to look at. And overall, I think I've been a little bit less cranky. That might have to do with getting better sleep, but it's also the start of the week. That could change. So yeah, those are my initial thoughts. And I was old school, and I wrote these things down to share with you guys. All in all, my first reaction is that smartphones have made us a little bit soft, and we become a little bit reliant on the multiple technologies within our smartphones. After only about 48 hours, not even that, 24 hours, a little bit more than 24 hours, with having simplified my phone down to a Gabb phone, I am partially tempted to permanently do something of this nature, where I have a SIM card in a simple phone, and every now and then I'll switch it to a flagship phone, a smartphone. But I find that having a simplified phone like a Gabb phone, it allows adults even to spend better quality time with each other, because they're not distracted with what's on their phone. They're not reading random internet articles while their spouse is talking to them. They're not, texting or Snapchatting with other people while you're in a room, and you're just able to spend better quality time. You're less distracted, and you're able to pay better attention and focus on the things that really matter. And I know there's a lot of other simple phones out there besides Gabb Wireless, but I'm partnering with them and collaborating with them for this challenge. So that's why they sent me a phone. So anyway, that is day one. We will see how the next few days go. I am traveling like 400-mile round trip to Farron, Utah on Wednesday, and a few other things going down that's really going to test how I feel about having a simple phone in my pocket versus a smartphone, but I'm up for the challenge. So there you go, guys. Always remember, you are wonderful, worthy, and you are worth it. See you guys on the next one.